Good afternoon from Sullivan Park in the gym. This is the 343 commitment and still counting. 110th floor Memorial Stair Climb for firefighter James Riches from Engine 4. The Manhattan's Wall Street Bulls housed with Tower Ladder 15 and the Decon unit. This climb is to give honor and respect for the sacrifice made so that others could live, taking our brother to the 110th floor from his work in the North Tower. This climb is dedicated to his mother Rita, his father, retired Deputy Chief James Riches, and his three brothers who joined the FDNY after 9/11, Thomas, Timothy, and Danny. So this climb again is to carry him all the way to the top of the tower to finish his footsteps all the way to the 110th floor. So we're just about to kick off that first of 7 verticals. Once we hit the 7th vertical completion, we'll be at the 101st floor, and it's only a few more from there for our brother, firefighter James Riches from Engine 4. So we're just about to kick off that first vertical. So our brother was the oldest of 4. Had a family nickname of Little Jimmy because his father, retired Deputy Chief James Riches, was senior. So he was Little Jimmy, along with his brothers Timothy, Thomas, and Danny. In 1989, he went to Belmont Abbey College in North Carolina on a basketball scholarship, to which he was inducted into the Hall of Fame there for his 3-point shooting and scoring capabilities. After that, our brother was in the blue NYPD for 8 years, working out of Brooklyn South Narcotics. Prior to 1999, joining the FDNY, where our brother was close to 2 years on the job, out of Engine 4, Tower Ladder 15, the Wall Street Bulls. I've been there to Engine 4, Tower Ladder 15 at the Wall Street Bulls to pay honor and respect on previous occasions of being in New York City. They have an actual separate room for the brothers, so you can pay respect at the memorial there at the house. This 110th floor is for our brother who worked both ends, both blue and red, with the NYPD and the FDNY. The Wall Street Bulls into 4 Tower Ladder 15 was one of the first units that responded on 9/11. Our brother went to work on the North Tower. Last seen helping a woman in the North Tower. We will never forget the sacrifices made so that others could live. This is why we climb, to carry their names and carry their legacies. So we keep our promise and our commitment to never forget. Right now, 19 years later, coming up on the 20th anniversary, we still will remember their names. They will just not become a picture on a wall or a name on a plaque. Their legacies will carry on. Their stories will be told. This is why we climb. But right now, this climb is 110 floors for our brother, little Jimmy James Riches from Engine 4. On his off time, for about roughly 3 years, 2.5 years, 3 years, our brother bartended at a little bar in Brooklyn called The Canteen. It was said that he was so good there that he had a regular crowd of customers that I would actually call and see if he was on during that time. Right now, this is his climb. For our brother, James Riches from Engine 4, now the Wall Street Bulls, with Tower Ladder 15 and the Decon unit. We're making that journey right now to the top, the 110th floor. This is the third climb of this 96-hour tour, day 3, and the 282nd climb with 61 brothers left to be carried to the top on completion. Coming to you live from the gym in Silver Park, New Mexico. This is the 343 commitment and still counting, 110th floor Memorial Stair Climb for our brother, firefighter James Riches, lovingly known as Little Jimmy to his family, with Engine 4, the Wall Street Bulls, the Tower Ladder 15, and the Decon unit. Dedicated specifically to his mother Rita, his father retired FDNY Deputy Chief Jimmy Riches, and his 3 sons who joined the FDNY following 9/11. Thomas, Timothy, and Danny. Your son and brother will never be forgotten. Taking them up with honor and respect for the sacrifices made on 9/11, 2001, and those that followed, with the end still counting. Those that worked the pile for days, weeks, and months until the operation was declared complete. This is why we climb, to remember our brothers, to keep their stories alive, and keep our commitment to never forget, but to always remember. As I said before on a few of my trips to New York City, I've had the honor of stopping by the Wall Street Bulls and pay my respects to the brothers at their memorial. They will never be forgotten. This is why we climb, to finish their footsteps. Our brother was 29. He would have been 30 years old on September 12th. He would have celebrated his birthday the following day. For his family to know, he will always be remembered. He will never be forgotten. This is why we climb. As I said before, in 1989, our brother went on a basketball scholarship to the Belmont Abbey College there in North Carolina. After finishing that, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame for 3-point scoring. After that, he joined the New York Police Department, which he served 8 years in blue, working out in Brooklyn South narcotics. Wishing him up with honor and respect for his years of service to the citizens of New York in both NYPD and FDNY. As I said before, our brother was 29 years old on his response to 9/11. Responding to the worst terrorist attack on U.S. soil and the greatest rescue effort in U.S. history, where upwards of 25,000 were saved because of the bravery, heroism, and valor that was shown. This is your climb, dedicated to the FDNY on and off the line, to his brothers, Thomas, Timothy, and Danny, who joined the FDNY after 9/11. To his father, retired FDNY Deputy Chief James Riches. I promise you, he will never be forgotten. His legacy will carry forward. One thing I found in reading during the memorization part of this climb, little Jimmy Riches, our brother right now from Engine 4, had a saying that he said, it was not the years in your life, but the life in your years, or something to that effect. Again, please forgive because it's all memorized. And that's very poignant to what he said. It's not how many years you have, but instead it's how you've lived your life during the years you have had. We're here to make a difference. How are you doing that? Right now, this difference is taking another brother to the 110th floor. For our brother, firefighter James Riches, Engine 4, FDNY, Manhattan's Wall Street Bulls, housed with Tower Ladder 15 and the Decon unit. Three of his brothers, James being the oldest, little Jimmy being the oldest, Thomas, Timothy, and Danny all joined the FDNY after 9/11. His father, a retired deputy chief from the FDNY, James Riches, and his three sons went to ground zero and carried their son and brother out. His father, retired deputy chief of the FDNY, James Riches, worked the pile at ground zero. During the recovery effort, your son will never be forgotten. A commitment made, a commitment kept. We will always remember their sacrifices, their names, their stories, their legacies. We've now reached the over halfway mark of this climb. This 110 floors, finishing our brother's footsteps in the North Tower, where Engine 4 responded with our brother, firefighter James, lovingly known to his family as Little Jimmy, Riches, of the Wall Street Bulls. As I said before, our brother had 8 years on the NYPD prior to switching over to the FDNY in 1999. He would have been 30 years old on September 12th. 19 years later, we still remember. We will never forget. It's just why we do what we do. To always remember. For the families to know. They won't just be a picture on a wall or a name on a plaque. They were heroes, showing valor and bravery in the greatest rescue effort in United States history, where upwards of 25,000 were saved. The last place firefighter Riches was seen was in the North Tower, assisting a lady, taking him all the way to finish his footsteps to that 110th floor. "282 climbs to be completed with this climb. 61 brothers left to take that journey, and the initial 343 commitment before the end still counting. Those who worked the pile at ground zero in the recovery effort, who succumbed to 9/11 illnesses and cancers, one by one will take their journey, giving their story as best as I can. This is the 343 commitment, and still counting. 110 floors. Memorial stair climb for our brother right here. Lovingly known to his family as Little Jimmy, firefighter James Riches, with Engine 4. Out of Manhattan, the Wall Street Bulls housed the Tower Ladder 15 and the Decon unit. Carrying him up to the very top. Every step closer to the next floor. On this 110 floors, giving an honor and respect for our brother and the ultimate sacrifice made so that others could live. Dedicated to his mother, Rita, his father, retired FDNY Deputy Chief James Riches, and his 3 brothers, Thomas, Timothy, and Danny, who all joined the FDNY after 9/11. A family of service on both sides. Our brother put in 8 years with the NYPD prior to switching over to the FDNY in 1999. His brothers, Timothy, Thomas, and Danny, joined the FDNY, and his father, James Riches, is a retired deputy chief from the FDNY. He will never be forgotten. He will always be remembered. Pushing it towards that second to last vertical in this 110th floor memorial stair climb for our brother, firefighter James Little Jimmy Riches. For the Wall Street Bulls, Engine 4, tower ladder 15. And the response to the worst terrorist attack on U.S. soil. 343 brothers made the ultimate sacrifice so that others could live. And those that followed with the end still counting. Those who worked the pile on ground zero for days, weeks, and months until the operation was declared complete. This is their climb. Taking our brother to the 110th floor. Finishing his footsteps at the North Tower. Carrying him symbolically with me right now to the top of the tower, to the 110th floor. Finishing the journey up to the top. This is why we climb. To give honor and respect to our brother who served in both the NYPD and the FDNY. Worked 8 years in Brooklyn, South, narcotics. Prior to 1999, joining on the FDNY. Assigned to Engine 4, tower ladder 15 at the Wall Street Bulls. As I said before, I've had the honor of going to that station to pay my respects. It's right off the waterway. And got a chance to see their memorial. It's an actual room inside the firehouse with a memorial to everyone of the brothers prior to 9/11 and those from 9/11. Honored to pay my respects. This is why we climb. All right, so this is the last little break before the last vertical. 7 verticals in total. Last vertical to the 101st floor. It's only a short matter of time after that our brother, firefighter James, little Jimmy, lovingly known by his family, Riches, from Engine 4, will have reached the top. The 282nd climb with our 61 brothers left to take their vertical. The oldest of 4 brothers, little Jimmy, Timothy, Thomas, and Danny. The 3 younger brothers also joined the FDNY after 9/11, following their family's footsteps of service to the city of New York. His father, retired FDNY Deputy Chief James Riches, worked the pilot ground zero, and it said during the research that he and his 3 brothers, his father and 3 brothers, carried him out of ground zero. He will never be forgotten. FDNY responded to the worst terrorist attack on U.S. soil. Their response was the greatest rescue effort in United States history, where upwards of 25,000 people were saved. This is why we climb. To finish their footsteps as those who have gone before us. To carry them with honor and respect, symbolically going to the top of the tower. For his family, dedicated to his mother, Rita, his father, retired FDNY Deputy Chief James Riches and his 3 brothers, Timothy, Thomas, and Danny. Promise you, your son and brother will never, ever be forgotten. His 8 years of service to the NYPD and his almost 2 years of service to the FDNY, he will always be remembered. This is why we climb, to keep their memories alive, to tell their stories. Third climb of this tour is 96 hours. And right now, we're going up to that 110th floor for our brother, firefighter James, little Jimmy known to the family, Riches. Engine 4, Manhattans, Wall Street Bulls, housed there with Tower Ladder 15 in the Decon unit. And now, we are now complete of all the verticals. The last 8 floors of honor and remembrance. Our brother actually went to college on a full-ride basketball scholarship, the Belmont Abbey College in North Carolina, where he was inducted into the Hall of Fame because of his 3-point shooting and scoring abilities. Afterwards, he joined the NYPD as a police officer for the city of New York, riding that blue side for 8 years as a assigned to Brooklyn, South Narcotics. Prior to 1999, when our brother joined the FDNY, our brother would have been 30 years old on September 12th. The day after was his birthday. Dedicated to his mother, Rita, his father, retired Deputy Chief of the FDNY, James Riches, and his 3 brothers who joined the FDNY after 9/11, Timothy, Thomas, and Danny. My brother was 29 years old when he responded to the worst terrorist attack on U.S. soil, with the greatest rescue effort in U.S. history. Weapons of 25,000 were saved because of bravery, valor, and heroism that was shown. The 282nd Memorial Climb completed for our brother, firefighter James Riches, little Jimmy, lovingly known by their family. Rest easy, brother. We'll take it from here.